to scoring for the Steelers with a 32-yard field goal. We join the action later in the first quarter. The Steelers have a 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line. Our match commentators are Dick Enberg and Bill Walsh.
Here comes Merrill Hodge breaking into the open and has some blockers. Still on his feet with one man to beat. Simon Fletcher cuts him off, and Hodge goes out of bounds at the Denver 47-yard line.
Has Hodge developed? I hadn't seen him play until last week against Houston. He made some excellent plays. He had a 49-yarder last week, but you'll see him break tackles and he strides out. Now we see him start right, then cut back behind Mecklenburg, behind Atwater, but look at him keep his feet. Now he strides out well. He probably runs about a 4.7 40, but it's very efficient. Excellent job. He should have kept running there. He might have got 3 or 4 more yards, but excellent running.
Merrill Duane Hodge from Pocatello, Idaho.
What a surprise he is.
He was a 10th round pick in '87 by the Steelers. 45 yards on that run. Now Brister looking for a big one. Down the middle he goes to Worley, and Worley has a 1st down at the Denver 14-yard line.
Well, that's exactly what we talked about early in the first quarter. Early in the quarter, we talked about Worley being open down the middle. This time, Brister looked right and then came right back to him, and it was a zone defense, and he just split people right down the field. Now he's in motion, and you'll see him right here working straight up the field. So he was in motion. Now you see him working straight up the field, clean against the zone. Now the ball's thrown in very, very well, and there really isn't much the defense can do about that. Excellent job of throwing the ball by Brister.
Worley says, hey, that's a whole new experience for me. I only caught a few screen passes at Georgia. I like being a receiver. I can catch it, and that is the end of the first quarter here at Mile High Stadium. Worley, who has just caught his longest pass of the year in motion, the give to Hodge. Another big hole, and Merrill Hodge rams for 8 as Mecklenburg makes the tackle.
Hodge really rips into that line of scrimmage. Again, Rienstra, this time Rienstra and Jackson pulling. Beautiful job of pulling, and we can take a look at it. And both of these men will pull and trap here, Rienstra and Jackson. But Hodge is going to break behind the play. So Denver's playing the blocking, and Hodge breaks behind people. You see him break back inside of people. That's excellent judgment and instinct by the running back.
They mark it at the 8, so it's a 7-yard gain. Hodge already with 82 yards rushing. With Worley in motion, Hodge on a draw, and he's hit by Ron Holmes, a former #1 pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Holmes, who came here for a #4 draft pick in a trade and has really developed 9 sacks this year. And is he happy? He said, you know, I could have lived the rest of my life not knowing what a playoff experience was.
Well, this was to be a trap by Ilkin. He turns up the field too early and leaves Holmes unblocked. Now, if Ilkin had continued down the line of scrimmage, he'd have made that block, and most likely it would have been a touchdown. But these trapping plays by the tackle and the guard that Pittsburgh utilizes, Denver doesn't see them at all unless they play Pittsburgh.
Trap, trap, trap. These Steelers, they'll trap an usher. Shotgun on 3rd and 2. And a handoff, and Hodge has nothing but daylight. Touchdown.
Well, wide receiver Weegee Thompson, number 87, is in the game to block. And he does a great job of blocking, and he just cuts off enough to give us room to run with the ball.
So the Steelers 5 times inside the 20 in the postseason, and they've come away with points 5 in a row. And Anderson tacks on the extra point. So a 10-point underdog. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 10 points on the Denver Broncos early in the second quarter.
You see Thompson, number 20, beautiful block. Thompson leaves our screen, and he does a nice job, and everyone is just cut down. Beautifully executed.
So Thompson 87 and Stone 20 with the key blocks, and Hodge untouched completes what has been an outstanding first half for him.
We rejoin the action on Denver's next possession. They have a 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 40-yard line.
Play action. Elway. Ooh, hit immediately was Mark Jackson by Rod Woodson. Woodson, a world-class hurler, came flying up to meet him.
Well, he made the big play last week that caused the fumble in the overtime, and that demonstrated what he has. He's one of the fastest people in football. He ran the high hurdles legitimately in 13.29. And look at the hitting power. he was considered most likely the best defensive backfield prospect to come out of college in maybe 10 years, and he's playing up to it.
That is a #1 pick from Purdue in '87. 3 yards in the pass play, and we may have had an offside on the Steelers. The throw by Elway, nevertheless, is a first down throw to the 25-yard line as Mark Jackson cradles the catch, and another gain of a dozen. First down inside the Steeler 25. Elway looking for Kay, the tight end, dumps it off instead to Humphrey. Humphrey breaking tackles to the 18-yard line. A good effort by the 22-year-old.
Well, that demonstrates the spontaneity that Elway has.
Humphrey, the workhorse on this drive. 2nd down and 4.
No pressure.
And he throws it away. Vance Johnson was the intended receiver. Dwayne Woodruff, the last of the Steelers that links to their 4 Super Bowl titles. Woodruff was in his 10th year from Louisville. And what glorious years those were for the fans that would crowd Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh.
Well, the same atmosphere and attitude is being developed right now. Chuck Noll, over the years, had the continuity, had a philosophy of hard work, keeping quiet, low profile. The bottom line, according to Chuck, and do I agree with him, is winning the Super Bowl. Anything short of that, and it's just cosmetic.
Elway may have drawn him offside. He does. This is a free play, and it's a first down down at the 5. No, he trapped the ball. Sammy Winder did not come up with it cleanly, but Elway, who has a talent for drawing that defense offside, gets an easy 5 and a first down. 8:29 left in the 2nd quarter. 10-0 Pittsburgh, but a first down for the Broncos at the 13. Humphrey to the 10 and perhaps the 9. Tim Johnson, first Steeler, number 78, and on the play with help from Gerald Williams, the nose tackle.
Gerald Williams had a great game against Houston. He's come along. He's a big guy, and he has some quickness. And running inside, Karts is going to have a hard time unless he gets a lot of help.
2nd down 7 for Elway. Jackson left, Johnson right.
Again, pass protection all the time he wants.
It's deflected and almost intercepted, and a flag is down. And we might have a hold, at least that's the signal being given by the Broncos, against the Steelers. And so it is. Bobby Humphrey dragged down just as he was going to lurch to that goal line. 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. Greg Lloyd, number 95, has returned for the Steelers. Bratton and Winder behind Elway. It's Bratton, a fullback from Miami, and he doesn't get in.
Boy, those Steelers are tough. Nickerson from Cal, by the way, really made a shot. Both Little and Nickerson, good, clean shots, and they finished it up. That usually isn't going to be enough, but look at the initial contact and then the follow-up contact stuffed that play.
Watch 54, Nickerson, as he helped out Little. 3rd and goal. Bratton is in the end zone. Treadwell has the extra point, barely. Looked as if someone may have gotten a hand on that one. It's 10-7.
You'll see right here, you'll see some movement right there, but you'll also see movement here. So who's to say?
And Bratton over the top for the touchdown. Treadwell just does add the extra point, and with 6:22 left in the first half, it's now a 10-7 Steeler lead.
On Pittsburgh's following drive, Bobby Brister found wide receiver Lewis Lips from 10 yards out. The extra point was good, so the Steelers regained their 10-point advantage. However, just seconds later, the Broncos reduced it to 7. David Treadwell's 43-yard field goal made it 17-10 at halftime. We rejoin the action on Pittsburgh's first possession of the third quarter. They have a 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Here comes Tim Worley. Behind some good blocks, but good pursuit and a fumble. And who's got it? Tyrone Braxton of Denver. The game's first turnover.
Well, Worley's had a little history of fumbling, and he's carrying that ball very loosely. The ball's hanging out there and was just knocked loose. Dennis Smith, talking before the game, said, we can get that ball jarred out of there. And it happened. Now, this could be the big break of the game. Worley just didn't run in there for that ball.
Greg Cragen was in the thick of the tackle, and Tyrone Braxton, who led Denver with 6 interceptions, picks up the ball. There's Cragen's tackle. Mecklenburg in there as well. Well, maybe the instant replay folks will take a second look as to whether or not Worley was down. He was hit hard, leaves the field under his own power. So far, no indication that they're reviewing the play.
That was really a rookie play on Worley's part. Carrying the ball that loosely and sort of trotting into the line of scrimmage, looking for a place to run. Meanwhile, you've got people with that intensity after you, the ball's going to be knocked out of there.
So from the 38, Elway drops back. He wants to go long. He does. Johnson, touchdown.
Well, there was confusion in that secondary that time. A post pattern right down the middle, and no safety there to take care of it. Both safeties open to their outside. When the play was over, they're both looking at each other with their hands up. There was a mistake.
Treadwell kicks this one high and cleanly after just barely getting one through on the first Denver touchdown and hitting the upright on a field goal.
Vance Johnson straight up the field, just bending into the post. No one there.
Field judge had the best coverage on Johnson. One play after the fumble, Elway to Vance Johnson, a 37-yard strike. It's a new game with 13 minutes left in the third.
The Steelers recovered from that setback with 2 Gary Anderson field goals to take a 6-point lead. Late in the fourth quarter, the Broncos were deep in Pittsburgh territory.
It's Bratton, touchdown! Denver Broncos have driven from their own 29-yard line on a game that will decide an opponent for Cleveland, and it may well be a drive that will take them to the AFC Championship game. It's tied now at 23. Treadwell to give the Broncos the lead.
So the Broncos go in front, and the Steelers self-destructed on their next drive.
He wants his lineman to get down and get set. And there's the problem. He couldn't hear. And Denver has the ball.
Well, that's why Joe Montana doesn't use the shotgun. Exactly it, right there. It comes down to a given play. Too much noise. They can't hear the snap count.
Now look at Brister. Well, he was trying to get the attention of his line to set up. Then the snap came and handcuffed him. Merrill Hodge couldn't pick it up. And it appeared to be Randy Robbins who covered it for the Broncos.
So Dan Reeves is a relieved man as the Broncos survive a serious scare, 24-23. So there you have it, the 4 teams that next Sunday will be playing for a spot in New Orleans come January 28th. The 49ers will play host to the Rams, and the Browns will visit the Broncos. For those games, Dan Marino and Walter Payton will be joining me here in studio when we'll be bringing you live coverage of one match, together with extensive highlights of the other. We'll start at 8:45 with kickoff of the big match at 9 o'clock. If you're a football fan of any kind, this is a program you just can't miss. So until next week at 8:45, I wish you all a very good night.